So the PS6 rumors are officially heating up, and honestly, some of what is being reported sounds almost too good to be true. We are talking triple the performance of the PS5, a brand new handheld device, and all of it potentially coming in at the same price we paid for the PS5 at launch. If even half of this turns out to be accurate, Sony might be about to make a very serious statement. Let's start with where this information is actually coming from, because that context matters a lot. A YouTuber by the name of Moore's Law is Dead recently dropped a video laying out what are claimed to be the PS6's specs, pricing, and release window. Now here's the important part. The leaker himself admitted that the information was sourced from a leaked AMD presentation that was shared with Sony back in 2023. That's already 2 years old at the time of reporting, which means some of these details could have shifted since then. So we're treating this as a very interesting rumor, not a confirmed announcement. Sony hasn't said a word officially. With that caveat on the table, let's talk about what is actually being claimed, because even as a rumor, this is worth discussing. The headline number is the one everyone is going to fixate on. The PS6 is reportedly being built to deliver 3 times the rasterization performance of the base PS5. Rasterization, just to be clear, is essentially how a console renders 3D environments in real time. It's the backbone of how games look and feel when you're actually playing them. 3 times that capability compared to the PS5 is a significant generational leap. On top of that, it's said to offer roughly double the performance of the PS5 Pro, which only came out recently and already impressed a lot of people. If that number holds up, we're looking at a meaningful jump, not just a modest spec refresh. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Despite all that added power, the leaked price point being floated is $499. That's the same ballpark as where the PS5 launched. Sony apparently wants to keep costs in line with previous generations, and there's a very specific strategic reason for that. The PS4 did extraordinarily well, in part because it launched cheaper than the competition. Sony knows that pricing is not just a practical decision, it's a competitive weapon. If they can come in at $499 while offering triple the performance, that's a very difficult value proposition for anyone to argue against. The console is also reportedly being built with backwards compatibility for both PS4 and PS5 games. That's something gamers have come to expect, and it would be a disappointing absence if Sony left it out. But including it is not just a nice feature, it's a statement that your existing library still matters, and that Sony is not asking you to start over from scratch. Now, let's talk about what might be the more unexpected part of this story. Sony is reportedly developing a PS6 handheld to launch alongside the console. This is not just a remote play device like the PS Portal. Based on the leaked details, it would be a proper standalone handheld with some genuinely impressive hardware inside. We're talking about a micro SD slot, an M.2 SSD slot, a touchscreen, haptic vibration, dual microphones, and a USB-C port that could support video output. The specs are reportedly designed to outperform the ROG Ally X, which is already a capable piece of handheld gaming hardware. The price range being mentioned for the handheld is between $400 and $500, which would put it in direct competition with other premium handhelds on the market. The handheld market has exploded in the last couple of years, between the Steam Deck, the various Asus ROG devices, and now Xbox getting into the space with their own handheld. Sony entering this category would make a lot of sense. PlayStation already has a massive audience that's comfortable with Sony's ecosystem. A dedicated handheld that ties into the PS6 and lets you take those same games on the go is exactly the kind of product that audience would respond to. As for timing, the leak suggests Sony will begin manufacturing both devices in the middle of 2027, with a launch window between fall 2027 and early 2028. That puts us roughly 2 to 3 years away from seeing any of this become real. A lot can change between now and then, and we should expect further refinements to whatever specs are being discussed today. Here's the bottom line. This leak, if even partially accurate,
paints a picture of Sony coming into the next generation with a very clear strategy: maximum performance, familiar pricing, backwards compatibility, and a companion handheld to capture a growing market. That's not a company playing it safe. That's a company that feels confident and wants to make a statement. Whether it all comes together the way these leaks suggest, we'll have to wait and find out. But the conversation is officially started, and the PlayStation community clearly has a lot to look forward to. If you want to stay updated on everything PS6 related as this story develops, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It helps more people find videos like this one, and we're going to keep covering every major update as it drops.